Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have ourselves a 2v2 on a crossing in the woods. Our heroes today are going to be Thorgal, Aegirsson, Thorgal, playing as the UKF, or British Forces, in the yellow. And his ally is going to be DJ Rolnick, playing as the US Forces in the blue. Their opponents, over here on the right-hand side in the red, we have Deagle Dampf, trademark, playing as the Ostir, or Wehrmacht faction, in the red. And his ally in the pink or purple trunks is going to be Porta-NL, playing as the OKW Forces in the aforementioned pink. So another 2v2. This time around we have the HUD like I kind of want to. We have it in the lowest setting, even though that makes it difficult to see the minimap, but we should be, if I do it right, seeing over here on the sides the info of the other player at the same time, you know, as the ones that we're currently selecting. Now there is some glitches in that matter where the game automatically switches over to the blue and red players whenever some notification pops up in the center, like the timed ones for like the victory point count and such. So I have to keep an eye on that and make sure that it's, you know, make sure that I'm selecting the right guys and always switch back and forth so that we're not showing the same player's info all the time. But regardless, technical mumbo jumbo that I have to figure out on my side as we see a big engagement over here on the left hand side. Both sides engaging. Volksgrenadiers taking a big ass damage here as the rear echelon squad gets focused down here by the Volksgrenadiers, almost gets taken out. However, the Volksgrenadier squad itself is being taken out here on the retreat, down to 2 men. Manages to make it out of there though, I believe. Well, one of them did. Did the other one die? The other one may have died. I was looking at it, but I missed it. But I think it did. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a team game. At this, you know, team games, individual squad losses aren't really that big a deal unless you lose too many. Well, let's take a look at the doctrine selection. We see Rolnick going for the Tactical Support Company. That is, of course, the one that provides the Calliope. And then we have Dampf, or Deagle, getting the Mechanized Assault Doctrine, which, of course, we saw him getting Assault Grenadiers out onto the field, which we see some over on the right-hand side. For Thorgal, we have machine guns. We also have bunkers getting, well, trenches getting laid down there in the center with his Vickers machine gun getting holed up in there. While Rolnick gets 3 rifles and a rear echelon by itself. So, you know. So see, for example, here I gotta switch back over so we can actually see the information, because otherwise it just shows both. It's annoying, but it helps. Like I wish there was a way that you wouldn't automatically toggle to the player that you select. Because that's annoying, because if I want to see like, oh, what did these guys have, it switches me over. But anyways, again, those are issues that I have to deal with to try and make the cast what I want it to be. Anyways, right hand side, we see that the Axis have pretty much established themselves here, laying down some minefields and all such. We do have the trench in the center, being able to turn itself around and face those assault grens. Going to be setting themselves up in the heavy cover, but they do get suppressed. Over on the left-hand side, we have Volks, storm piles all across the edge of the river. And we got rifles and rear echelons moving around on the left-hand side as well. And a couple of ones retreating. Tech-wise, Tier 1 for Deagle. No tech so far for Porta. And back at base, we do have the platoon command post coming down for Thorgal. And at the same time, we have the lieutenant coming into play with an ambulance coming up behind it. We did see on the last 2v2 that ambulance being utilized quite effectively at... Let me switch back again. There you go. Being utilized quite effectively as essentially a half-track, being set up quite up in the front, making sure it's in friendly territory, and bringing your units back so they can reinforce on the fly. Pretty good control there. Right-hand side, the... infantry sections moving around. We do see rear echelon squads with sweepers now equipped, getting right on top of that as minefield. Going to be trying to clear it out as much as they can. Infantry section trying to do what they can here to stop the approaching infantry from preventing the sweep. We do, of course, have Vickers machine gun behind them, popping out and going to be trying to provide some support. We have the lieutenant. We have another Vickers machine gun coming into play. The infantry section getting torn apart, down to one man, forced to retreat, but we'll make it out of there. And the lieutenant now at close range with its bar and its Tommy gun, able to dish out quite a bit of damage here. The assault grunts trying to do what they do, but, you know, they're not that great, and they end up getting torn apart, losing themselves. One man left on that retreating Grand Squad. Pretty healthy one man, so it does make it out of there. And now the rear echelons are able to sweep as much as they want here. Lieutenant pushing forward. Pyro Squad on top of them. Going to be forcing them to retreat as the MG42 forces a retreat as well, getting them suppressed. And we now hear some vehicles coming into play as we see Rolnik getting himself a utility car out on the field, getting upgraded with some skirts. The utility car can easily come up on the flank here on this MG42, and it will. So nice little maneuver here by Rolnik. Going to be getting itself right on top of that 50 cal. I mean, of that MG42. The 50 cal going to be tearing it apart. Forces it to retreat. Might be able to kill one more member on the retreat, but unless it chases it down, it is not going to kill anybody else. And it looks like 3 of them still able to make it out of there alive. Mortar emplacement on the field there for Thorgal. Not a bad decision, although interesting placement. You would maybe expect it behind here, something like that, like so the hedge itself kind of breaks line of sight. It's right there in the open in the center. It's a little bit blocked by stuff, but well, it'll help out with whatever it can. Half track on the field for Rolnik, and that is of course from the Doctrine, and that is the M5 half track transport, which of course allows the ability to reinforce on the field. Porta gets his battle group headquarters down, although he sets it up pretty much close to the base. No, not as a forward retreat spot, at least not yet. We'll see if he ends up selecting it, but it's not that far out for it to be, you know, too aggressive as far as a retreat position. Utility car popping its crew out over on the right-hand side, going to be capping the point, manages to decap that fuel, but we do see Grens moving in that direction. If they don't pop in quickly, that might be a lost vehicle there. And nope, we see Rolnik reacting quickly, popping a smoke, in fact, and then getting the hell out of there, making sure that the Grens can't Faust it, although he does stop there. Manages to get himself Fausted in the ass. And going to be moving away, but since the infantry didn't pursue, sat there in the center trying to recover the victory point. Looks like the utility car is going to be able to make it out of there just fine. It is moving further back, and we see the infantry trying to close in, and they will. However, the SMGs on the assault Grens don't do that much damage to armor, so they're, you know, they're not that big a threat. 50 cal managing to shoot back behind it, getting some extra kills there on the Grens. The assault Grens do murderize that infantry section as it just stood there. However, the lieutenant comes up and avenges them, kills another Gren, and is in the process of getting them out of there.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
Oh, sorry, I gotta select this again. And this, there you go. So yeah, like I said, it's kind of annoying. So you'll see moments where I'm showing the same player's info twice, but it's kind of difficult to not do that. Rifle squad on the right-hand side, engaging that Pyro squad. Pyro squad down to one man, gets taken down and even dropping a flamethrower. Seems like a nice little gift here for the infantry. However, the rifle squad gets eliminated here, as well as the lieutenant, I believe, went down as well. Wow. To the Panzer Grenadiers in that half-track. Doctrine selection for Thorgal, and that is the Royal Engineer Regiment. Does actually provide the repair buff. It's right there. The stand fast. Bridge emplacement will automatically be repaired while active. That's a munitions-based ability, but global. Utility car and Panzer Grens duking it out over on the right-hand side. Vehicle crew popping out of their own vehicle and getting a bazooka shot flying, so managing to do quite a bit. We do see the armored car, the Aegirsson, on the field for Thorgal. And Porta, we don't really have that much going on. We have 3 Grens, I mean Volksgrens in total. That's about it. That's a Rakuten Warfare and a infantry support gun. Shreks, though, do fly in unison there at that armored car, doing quite a bit of damage, bringing it down to a sliver of health. Needs to get the hell out of there if it wants to live. We see the utility car coming up to try to provide some amount of support. The Vigor's machine gun finally deciding to pop out of the trench. However, it doesn't even turn itself around to actually face the infantry, so it's not doing anything. It's just looking at the fight through its peripheral view. So, because it doesn't help out, and even if it had helped out, I don't think it would have changed much, but because it didn't turn itself, the Shreks are able to destroy the vehicle and manage to, not the vehicle, the emplacement, and manage to do quite a bit. Half-track with its machine gun on top, the 50 cal machine gun, managing to, well, just basically get itself destroyed as it runs straight into a Rakuten Warfare and doesn't move past it or try to circle strafe it. Utility car does move up to try to provide some support, gets a smoke bomb going, but does not manage to break a line of sight on the half-track, and the half-track pays the ultimate price. So the infantry support gun's just throwing some barrages here, trying to stop the approaching infantry. It's kind of surprising because it seems like both of these armies, I mean, well, not both of these armies, but both sides don't have a lot when it comes to units right now. They're actually playing with relatively low unit counts. But, I mean, I guess they're fine. I mean, Porta does have quite a bit. 3 Volkskrans and a Fusilier squad now. We do see the selection of doctrine for Porta, and that is the Breakthrough Doctrine. That's why he has the Fusiliers out. Yeah, we'll see what that entails. So Rolnik still has vehicles, so he has the utility car somewhere around here. Ah, there it is in the center. Infantry trying to stop the approaching onslaught, but not having too much luck. We see Porta finally deciding to tech up and getting himself another supply half-track. Probably going to be the Schwerpanzer headquarters, somewhere up to the front, I suppose. And again, that's why I said about the mortar positioning, that it was too out in the open. Like I said, if it was maybe back here, kind of there, it would have been maybe a little bit difficult to take it down. But still, I mean, regardless of where you put it, it's going to be able to get, you know, attacked. Just how easily you want it to happen. Rolnik calling in some AT guns. So moving into the field right now.
The enemy are attacking an emplacement. Attacking our fragment, cheeky bastards! Not power from the engine!
And we see the captain now in the field for Rolnik, moving over on the left-hand side, trying to do what it can, but not really having too much luck since it's not really a anti-infantry type of unit. Let's go ahead and pop back onto Thorgal. Smoke getting popped there by the armored car, making sure that nobody can snipe it. We have some troops over here on the right-hand side. The Panzer Grenadiers have been equipped with Shreks and are still on their half-track. We see explosives going off here on that Grand Squad as it gets torn apart and killed.
Emplacement under attack.
We have the MG42, Panzer Grenadiers, and everything behind them, just closing in and controlling that territory. We see Rolnik and Thorgal pushing together. The bazookas there on the captain trying to do as best they can, but not having too much luck. MG42 taking some direct shots down to one man, manning that MG, trying to stop the approaching infantry. Doing a decent job there. Has the support of some LMGs as well. Rifle squad getting pinned down. We see a Stuggy getting called onto the field for Deagle. Armored car gets torn apart here as Rakuten Warfare, Fusiliers, everything is able to catch it from behind the lines. The mortar emplacement has gone down once again. Again, it's in direct fire. Like, maybe if a Bofors was here, I would, you know, it would be okay, because, yeah, it's covering this entire zone and such. But this is an indirect fire type of emplacement. You kind of maybe want to put it behind something. It can still shoot over it. It doesn't actually have to be looking at it. It relies on other units to spot for it, so... Again, not sure why they're in the open. If it was a Bofors, sure, it shoots back and kills stuff and defends the zone. So what's getting called in? The recon run by Rolnick over here on the right-hand side, it looks like. Just trying to spot whatever it can, including the Stuggy. Victory points 471 to 329, currently in the lead for the Allies. Axis, though, currently on the right side of the cap, so they're going to be able to withstand for a little while. And Fusiliers getting upgraded with recon packages, G43s. We see the half-track getting taken down over here on the right-hand side as the captain moves up. Bazooka shots doing a lot of damage to the vehicles. Rifle squad getting torn down to one man as the Stuggies just have free reign here to shoot at whatever they want. Bazooka shots flying. The captain not going to be lasting too much longer here if it sits in the middle of everything. Forces the retreat of a rifle squad. The captain moves up on top of the Panzer Grenadiers, gets some bazooka shots, but again, it's just sitting there. Oh, nasty shot there, eliminates that Panzer Grenadier squad. And we see a light artillery barrage right on top of all this. We also see a Stuggy getting destroyed over here as the third one comes into play. Shots flying from the AT guns as they do pop their armored piercing rounds. Managing to do quite a bit of damage and eliminate two of the Stuggies. Deagle now, wow, losing pretty much everything. Look at that. Deagle just has a Grunt squad and a Stuggy, which is now getting stunned here by a Steward. And the Steward actually has the capability to circle strafe it because, well, it doesn't have a turret. So he's trying as best he can. Not a great weapon on it, but the AT gun can move up and provide some support. Doesn't need it though. The Steward manages to find a weak spot, and down goes a Stuggy for Deagle. Let's call in yet another one, so investing all his resources into that. Has lost 3 in quick succession, so that's a big hit there for the Axis. On the left-hand side, they do have a pretty good defensive position here with all the infantry of Porta. He's currently retreating from that side as we saw a Centaur come into play for Thorgal. Centaur pretty good at murdering infantry. And in the center, we have that trench just sitting there, not currently manned, so it is going to get destroyed here. As the AT gun is trying its best, it can't actually hit the Stuggy, but missing completely. You see the other AT gun managing to get some shots off on the side, and the Stuggy will take some damage, but since it's off range and off sight range, they're just attacking ground and hoping to hit, so that's why they're not hitting, you know, as much as they should be. So, you know, it wasn't just bad RNG, it's just they're actually shooting into the ether. Designate command vehicle. Does this get turned into a command vehicle? Yep. Calling a recon plate to patrol above the command vehicle for a period of time. Cool. So yeah, the Centaur gets turned into that. We see the change there on the sides, which I'm gonna have to pop myself, but it's fine. We do see that the Schwerpanzer headquarters did go down for Porta over here on the left-hand side, but again in a very, very defensive position. It's not out there. I mean, it can kind of defend this point, but it does have a hedge in front of it. But not being aggressive with it and trying to push out. Fusiliers and Volksgrenadiers pushing on the left-hand side, trying to do as best they can against all this infantry. We do have a Panther on the field here for Porta. Could be getting some shots going on the Centaur. The Centaur going to be trying to move out of the way. Now, while it does have active the ability here, it moves very slowly. And any red units moves and fire more slowly. Yeah, there you go. So that is a, you know, it does have a detriment to making a command vehicle. And unfortunately there for Thorgal, well, he paid the ultimate price, and the Panther manages to eliminate it. Take some nasty hits there on the Panther, but the Panther's home free. Going to be able to make it out of there without much of an issue. Manages to dodge a couple extra shots there from the AT guns. And, yeah, unfortunately there, for the Allies, they lose their British tanks. Now, on the field, though, we do have a Calliope for Rolnick. Going to be setting up for a barrage, I suppose. No, maybe not. See the AT gun getting cleared out here in the center. The assault grunts pushing forward, trying to do what they can against them. Stuggy's in the center, getting some barrages going there on that Steward. The Steward trying to move out of the way. Pack howitzer has also been eliminated here for the Allies. The tank guns is getting eliminated all over the place. The Steward trying to do what it can against that assault grunt. Manages to eliminate the the squad, and the steward has taken quite a bit of damage and now needs to back off. Captain going to be moving up. AT gun does get recruited there by Thorgal, and shots going to be flying at that Stuggy. Oh, they managed to eliminate the vehicle crew, or well, the weapon crew. But the captain is sitting there and manages to do quite a bit. Over on the left-hand side, we let me go ahead and switch back out. Over on the left-hand side, we hear that the well, I don't know, the Stuggies got killed here as Deagle just sent them into their death. The steward is back here. See the Calliope over on the left-hand side throwing some barrages into the big patch of infantry. Forces the retreat of most of them. Victory points 290 to 329, currently in the lead for the Axis. But they only have about a 30-point lead, 40 maybe at tops. So, you know, it's not a big lead, but they have managed to turn it around, whereas they were losing before. MG-34 managing to stop the approaching infantry. Captain getting suppressed. Rifles with only 2 men left. Not going to have too much luck here against all this if they don't have additional support. But, you know, they make it out of there, so it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. So let's see here. Center map. We see some mines getting laid down for Thorgal. Currently, Porta pretty much carrying the Axis forces. We see Deagle pretty much broke and doesn't have anything on the field. Has a Grunt squad, an assault Grunt squad, and an MG, and that's about it. They are currently heading out of the base and going to try to provide some amount of support. But Porta has his Panther and all the infantry because for some reason Deagle just sent his Stuggies to suicide here in the center. He did a lot of damage, but losing the Stuggies, you know, pretty much negates any damage that he may have done. The point is to kill stuff and keep your alive. That's basically how you win a war. You kill the other guy and keep your things alive. You know, both of you die, there's no winners. Pack Howitzer throwing some barrages into the center. The Assault Grand Squad manages to decap the point and accelerate the bleed there, the 2 points per tick, but they are not going to be able to cap it. And we see Thorgal moving up a little bit further forward. Thorgal now out of vehicles, relying on Rolnik for the armored support. Rolnik doesn't have much in his mainline tanks, really. He has a steward, and then the Calliope. The other vehicles are what? The utility cart's still alive. Yeah, it's back here. Huh, interesting. So, another Stuggy on the field here for Deagle, just being sent to its death for some reason or another. So, I'm assuming at this point he's given up, probably. I didn't see any message about the AI taking over. Yeah, no. So, for some reason or another, Deagle is just sending his troops out to die and get them killed. Does manage to get into position to throw a light artillery, so he's at least trying things, but I mean, just suiciding your tanks over and over, I mean, it's not really gonna do much. On the left-hand side, we hear a big artillery strike as assault artillery gets thrown into the mix as well. For all the troops here for Rolnik having to move out of the way of this sector. Jeez. Brutal artillery strike there. It actually throws smoke screen cover at the very end. Pretty powerful ability, but of course it does cost 200, whereas the light artillery is only 120. So yeah, there's a reason why it's stronger, but didn't seem to do much here. It just looked fancy. Center map, assault grunts again, just pushing forward, trying to go for that victory point, and actually doing a decent job of it. The 50 cal machine gun trying to tear apart that grunt squad might be able to do so as it retreats, but it looks like it focuses now on the assault grunt squad that is sitting there, denying them the ability to cap, getting them pinned down and probably killed. Cromwell tank now on the field for Thorgal. Going to be pushing forward. The assault gun squad goes down. And we see a sniper out of all things being produced for Deagle. So I hate to say it, but I think Porta here is being let down by his ally. I'm not too sure if this was a ranged team or just random auto match. Random teams, but yeah. Deagle not keeping up. I mean, just look at those units that he has. 11. 11 on the pop cap. Cromwell moving up, getting some shots flying at that MG. The MG will be killed. There we go, one less unit. Panther is on the field though, so it's going to get a lot of shots flying there at that Cromwell, so the Cromwell needs to get the hell out of there. However, the Allies have managed to stabilize and capture all 3 points now, turning the bleed back in the other direction. They did lose more than 100 points, or like the spread was 100, 200 to 308 right now. But with a triple cap, that goes away really, really quickly. So the Cromwell sitting there in front of the Panther, going to be trying to move out of the way, but I think the Panther might be able to get a shot off. No, manages to move just out of range for the Panther. The Shrek squad is forced to retreat as Porta... damn it. Switch back over. There you go. As Porta pushes forward, the MG here getting knocked out, or knocked down as it tries to move away, but manages to stay alive, so it will remain alive. And yeah, basically Porta right now is being left to essentially carry the team, and that's not gonna end well for him. There's basically a sniper left on the field here for Deagle. Looks like he's trying some cheeky maneuvers to try to sneak behind enemy lines. Maybe getting range to throw an artillery barrage at something, but I mean, he's just moving his sniper into range. Does throw an artillery barrage right on top of the base, so might actually get some good hits here on Rolnik. Moves his things out of the way though, so it actually doesn't do anything, because he centered it here rather than here. So even that doesn't work. So yeah, just trying, I guess, having fun, trying to sneaky maneuvers. Does call in a Stug just to have something else and provide support, but yeah, I mean, the game is pretty much over at this stage. I guess we'll just let it run its course and see what happens in the meantime, but yeah, the Allies have definitely won this one. I mean, army value you can see here, it's a combined army value of what, 109 right now for the Allies versus 58 for the Axis. So yeah, Porta with his Panther trying his best it can against all this armor, doing, you know, not a bad job. Switch over to this guy. There you go. But yeah, how did the Calliope do? Veteran T2 acquired, 36 kills. Pretty much missed all the barrages there, but well, I mean, like I said, it's unfortunate though that it wasn't a more even match. It was okay up to a point, but once Deagle just started suiciding all those Stugs, it kind of went to shit. I mean, he's not even waiting around to maybe get the Tiger, which you would maybe expect, like, oh, I lost all things, I'm just going to hold off, hope that my ally can maybe keep me alive, and then I'll get a Tiger, and with that maybe be able to push back. But no, he's just suiciding things left and right. Do have a Stuggy over here on the left-hand side, trying to fight against these vehicles, but realizing I don't have a turret, I can't do shit, and gets assaulted by a Steward, gets hit in the ass multiple times, and with one more shot it should die. No, actually misses that shot. Let's see, Steward takes another shot. Boom, there you go. Down goes the Stuggy, so once again Deagle has nothing. Does have a sniper on the field, so I guess that's nice. Where is that sniper anyways? That's back at base, where it should be. So Thorgal pulling in some command vehicles once again, designating... switch back over here, there you go. Designating this tank as his sector. Porta trying to do as best he can to get his mechanized regiment headquarters down and all, so can't fault him for that, but yeah. Come on, game. Let's just finish it off. I'm assuming the game is going to end until it just ends by victory points, maybe? There's a triple cap going, 175 points left for the Axis, so yeah, probably. Let's take a look at what Deagle does again. He's going to send out his sniper all the way to the front. He has another light artillery barrage ready to go. Is he going to use it? Well, the sniper is going to die. Shrek gets picked up there by those Royal Engineers. Sniper's just sitting there in the center. Not going to be able to do too much. And gets himself killed. So there we go. Panzer Grenadier Squad with a half-track does get called in. Sending it around for another strafing run. Artillery barrage getting called in, but gets called in right on top of the AT gun here. I mean, that's not a bad target, but usually you want to do that when you're going to be pushing maybe with your own vehicles. You take out the AT guns, and that way your armor can move a lot more freely. But, yeah, I guess he's just trying to pretend that he's doing something. Good thing we don't have, you know, chat there, right? So, assault artillery, they get called up here in the north as we see all the smoke that lingers afterwards, but I mean, that doesn't really mean much. AT gun throwing some barrages in there. We see Porta continue to put up a good fight, and even call in a Stuka. Maybe try and see if we can throw the barrage in there. 115 points left for the Axis. Will the game end? Will we see mercy? We now see at this point Deagle probably left just by the AFK. We see him having a lot of manpower. Nice Stuka barrage right there, hitting that 50 cal. Yeah, he doesn't even have any units anymore. He's just floating his manpower at this stage. So yeah, like I said, unfortunate. So it was a good game up until that point, but after that point, it was basically a 2-on-1. So sad. Calliope throwing a counter barrage here at the Stuka, managing to not kill it. Go ahead and select the units again so we can actually see. Unfortunately, like I said, whenever the game pops out a message, it actually switches automatically for one reason or another. Why? Who the hell knows? Vision block there on the Panther, making it unable to actually deliver the killing blow on the Steward. See the vehicle crew popping out, getting a bazooka shot flying at the Panther, getting some damage going on it, but unable to kill it. Would have been kind of amazing if they had. Let's go ahead and switch back out because every single message here is now going to be switching me over and makes it very annoying to keep track of all this. But let's just switch it back over at the very end. Before anything happens, it looks like both players finally surrender and the game thankfully comes to a close. So yeah, like I said, it was an okay game at the beginning, but yeah, once we got to that point where the red player Deagle was just simply throwing his units away, like throwing all these stuggies, which I guess happened when he lost the 3 stuggies up here on the right-hand side. I guess at that point he said, ah, fuck it, I already lost, I'm just gonna have fun and just throw shit away regardless of the consequence. But yeah, I mean, the game is just prolonged because of that. Anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.